Hello, my crafty friends, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me bring up the chat so I can see what is happening out there. I hope you are all doing well. So today we're going to look at a set that I think would be great for a Father's Day card, really for anybody in your life that for Father's Day. But I also think this is a really cool, just kind of set in general to work with. It's called Today is a Good Day, and it's a stencil set that there's also a die that you can get. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. We love to spread the crafty fun at Altenew, so we appreciate you taking the time to share. The fact that we're live and to have people come see us. And yes, we have the fabulous Jelly behind the badge today. So excited for that. Hello and welcome to everyone. So let's get started. Hello, work my magic. Oh, goodness. I don't know if I have any magic. Am I out of magic? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's find out if I have any magic left in me after this weekend. Okay, here we go. So we're going to work today with this beautiful set. It is, oh, it's not raining here, so that's the nice thing. Sorry, the light's really bright on it, but it's called Today is a Good Day, and it's a really fun stencil. It's called what we call a builder stencil, right? Because it builds on each other. So it doesn't really necessarily layer, but it really builds together. Okay. So we have our layering guide, as comes with anything that layers together, as this does. And you can see that they've gone kind of with the pinky colors. But since we're going for a Father's Day card, now my uncle loves pink, so you could use pink. But my thing, my advice for those of you that are like, well, pink's maybe not my husband's kind of color. So if your husband, spouse, child has a favorite athletic team, that's my suggestion to pull colors from. So both my husband and my dad have passed. But if I was going to make them a card, I would choose, because the one they agreed on was the New England Patriots. So I'm going to pull colors for the New England Patriots, which are gray, red, and blue. So those are going to be my focal colors. So, and then now they don't have any green, right? So here you see that the leaves are kind of green. So instead of that, I'm going to do gray leaves, and I'm going to do this in red and blue, shades of red and blue. And then these little dots, we can add those in. We don't have to necessarily, but we can just use a different gray tone, or we could use a really light of the blue or of the red. Oh no, I didn't. Well, that's okay. But think of it too, my friends, okay? So I agree with Christine. Some of the colors, when you see them, you're like, oh gosh, I don't know. No, capital N to the big O, my friends, no. But think of it this way. It's a challenge, right? Because you're like straight out of the door. No. you know, but it also pushes you. It challenges you, right? So maybe if it is a hard no, hard straight to the no, maybe there's another team that he really enjoys that you could pick. I'm just trying to choose my reds. I think I'm going to go with, and I'm choosing the reds I want to use, not necessarily the ones that go. I'm not looking at anything with the New England Patriots on it right now. Let's see. I just want a darker red. Okay, let's go. I really like Heartbeat. I really like Vineyard Berry. You know what? I'm going to go old. Ah, no, I packed it. Oh, boogers. I can't use it. Darn. I've already packed it. Okay. All the decisions. Too many decisions. I'm looking at all the beautiful colors. Let's see. Where can my cherry sweet? Maybe that can figure in there. Maybe we can figure that in there. We'll see how that works out. We'll we'll see how that works out for my reds. Okay, for my blues, it's really a true like dark blue. So I think I'm going to go ultramarine and azurite. Okay. Oh, and you know what? This would be really pretty in grayscale. So I think this would be really, really gorgeous doing in grayscale. But you guys know how I feel about a gray. So, and I'm going to change up the gray. I'm going to use, I do use Morning Frost a lot though. But I am going to use the warm gray instead, the Morning Frost Evening Gray Moon Rock as my gray. So these are the ones I'm going to concentrate on to make my card. Now, if we get into the reds and it's too not dark enough red, it's too bright, we can change that up as we go, right? Because we're crafters. We go with the flow, my friends. Because I also have my beautiful burnt red. So I think we're going to do what my lovely friend Aditi reminded me to do when her class. Aditi has a few fabulous classes. We're going to swatch. We're just going to swatch. Remember the swatch watches? All right. So we got that one is cherry sweet. I'm going to do them in alphabetical order so I know. That's burnt red. And then heartbeat. All right. I think I'm going to choose heartbeat and burnt red. I don't think I want the cherry sweet. I think that's going to be good. I get a little extra there. I also had I had an incident when I was moving. It broke down and you can see where it broke right here and it hurt. So I was moving and cleaning and doing all that jazz. Okay. I had a swatch watch too. Yeah. I loved swatch. They were so cool. Okay. So here we go. Now there's a couple different options with this. So you can cut it all out. You can cut out the backer of it. So maybe we'll try this with cardstock after. But right now we're going to use just the outline frame to cut it out when we're done stenciling. So I am going to, just to make sure that I fit this, hi Ziamara, that I fit this in here, okay, I'm going to put this onto my cardstock and make sure that it fits okay. And I think that's upside down maybe. So we'll try it and then we'll see. Now, when you want to reach for, the last one. Oh, wow. So many. Okay. So many good things going on. So this is the one, this is the direction. I'm using stencil 3. Okay. Because that's got all the leaves. So I know that this is A, going to fit, B, going to die cut. So that's wonderful. So lots of wonderful things answered with just one application of a stencil. All right, so here we go. We're going to just tape this down. And it doesn't matter where yet, right? Because I haven't stenciled yet. But we're just going to get this taped down. Oh, good. I'm glad you're just kind of listening along. Hopefully I keep it interesting for just listening. I hope so. All right, now what I'm going to do, because this doesn't really help me. Oh, goodness. We have a kitty making a break for it, as you can see. That's Patrick. Say hello, Patrick, and keep moving. Okay, now he's stuck in the camera. Hold on. He's stuck in the camera. Okay, here we go. No, thank you for visiting. That was very nice of you. Okay, he's moving on now. All right, so we're going to keep this one because we got to figure out where to put our stencil 1 so it fits, right? So we're going to get this all lined up again where it's about lined up. I think that's pretty good. And then we're going to put this one on top. Okay. And then we're going to put this one right here. Okay. Then we're going to make a door. He just does. He really does. He took over for Emery Casey in many respects. He's just a kitty with a mission to help and craft. He just has a dream of crafting, and I kill that dream most days because I'm like, get off my desk. So yeah, I'm just kind of a horrible mother. I'm a horrible mother. Okay, and then just make sure that, just double checking one more time that this lines up, because you only get one crackaroo at this, right? All right, so we're gonna line that up there, and the little leaves are down there. The little leaves are over there. There's tape over there, but that's okay. Okay, it looks good. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. So first, we're gonna go with the red. Okay, and I think today, we're just gonna use these little guys. So I don't know what color I had on there last. I know. Can I use it alone, please? I actually think, Tracy, I think I have, hold the phone. Let me see if I have it. Unfortunately, all of mine are planned. So I can't do it here. I thought I had cut one out and put it in here. No, I didn't. I usually, if I have extra, I put them in here. I thought I did because I did do it on its own. But yeah, if we have time, I can do one in gray. That could be a pretty Father's Day card. But we'll go on with our Father's Day plan here. Okay. Now, because that die is there, right? I mean, I can leave now that I have this. I really can remove the die, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet because I have this tape over here with my hinge holding my door. So I'm just going to come in and just start blending. And this piece, I wanted to see what piece. I knew one of them was going to move on me. So, because they're delicate pieces. And then this one's going to move on me here. So I'm going to come in and just move my hand around. Now, if you don't have Godzilla fingernails like I do, then just use your tweezers, your scissors, whatever you have close. It'll hold it down. Just one of the perks of having long nails. I don't really need tweezers to hold down things. I know many people don't think I have any perks with having long nails. They think they're hard. I've actually had a harder time adjusting to not having a nail and having a regular size nail right now. That has been the hardest to adjust to because I'm just not used to it. Now, you could also, on this, you could have done really light with one of the reds and come on, and we still can. So I'll show you what I mean by that, because I did pick 2 reds and 2 blues, and you really only need 1 for the way that we're doing it, because we're using football colors as an example of inspiration. Now, another great place, if you're like, I think it was Christine that was like, yeah, no. If that's your feeling as well, go to Altenew. And where, I bet you Jelly can pop a link into this, under where we keep our swatches, there are some color combination ideas as well. So that's pretty cool because you don't have to come up with them yourself. You don't have to pay any money for them. They're right there. So I know there are lots of great things on the market that help you with that you can buy. But I know sometimes money's tight and you're like, well, do I want something that gives me color suggestions or do I want a stamp set? I would say stamp set every time because I can get color suggestions for free. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. We got this. Any weather? Oh, beautiful. That's awesome. I know so many fun things on the website. The website is a really super duper fun place. So many things. So if you want to, you don't have to, you can come in at the bottom and add to that red. I just want to go up like halfway on my red. I don't want to do the whole thing. So I'm actually going to have a two-toned red and I'll have a two-toned blue on my card. Now, originally, this set, it has like the two tones of the pinky color, right? So it doesn't have the two tones of each color. So we're making it a little bit different. And I got some at the top there. I'm not going to panic about it, but if that would bother you, you could, tape it off, just hold a piece of cardstock up. I'm going to hold this little guy down. Okay. And right there. All right. And then here we go. Do, 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 do. Do, boo, boo, do, ba, dooby, dooby. Okay. So we got that. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Yikes. That sounds painful. Yeah, no, I get that all the time. How do you do anything? Just like you do. I'm like, they're not really that long. So now, if you were to use like a really light color, so let's say you used like a number 1 in the color family and a number 3, you would get a really, really, different response here. Like you would see, or different look, you would see a bigger gap in the colors, right? This is jelly. This is really such a simple one for someone to start with. I have a dear friend, Julie, who for years I've handed down my loved craft supplies. And I just broke my E on my stencil. I'm going to tape it on there so I don't lose it. I just broke it off. I was a little rough. It was me. I did it. I'm like the bull in the china shop, so I'm not overly worried about it. I'm just going to do that and I'll deal with it later. Okay, so this isn't hugely different, right, in the reds, but if you use like a number 1 and a number 3, you're going to get a bigger difference. So now I can take away the dye. I mean, I can leave the dye. The dye's not really the dye's not really bothering anybody. So now I'm going to use the etchings of this. But yeah, my friend Julie, she, I wish I had a picture of her card. She made her first ink blended card and it was stunning. You would not know that she had just ink blended one card. You would have no idea. And then she did one of the craft of flowers because I wanted to show her our patented keyhole system and how easy it was. And yes, she liked it. It was easy. But I mean, again, her card was amazing. It was phenomenal. So it was fun to be able to show her some of the kind of cool stuff at Altenew. She wasn't really familiar with Altenew before, so it was kind of cool to bring her up to speed on some Altenew goodies. All right, so I don't know what color this is. We're going in next for the blues. So I'm just wiping off my microfiber brush over here. My microfiber. Oh, micro blending brush. I picked the wrong one. That's definitely a yellow. I thought this was, I don't know if this is blue, black, or gray. I think it's gray. It's about to become a blue because I don't have a dark, well, I have 2 tones of blue. I could use this one. I have this one here that's bluish. Okay, we'll do this. Okay, here we go. So now there are my blues. We are going to use ultramarine and azurite. So same thing. You could just use one color on this. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to glue it back on. What I'll do is I will use our glue tape. When I go to use this stencil, I'll just use our glue tape and pop that little piece into place and then stencil and then put it back on there. So I wish I could glue it in. Now, the reason it's great, one great thing about using, maybe we'll just do one blue on this because it's got a lot of extra on there. So it's got the leaves. So the great thing about using the micro blending brushes is hopefully you don't get into those areas. I'm trying to blend so that I'm not getting in where the leaves are. What you can do and what I like to do is I will just come in with another piece of the stencil. Okay, that way I'm not trying to find a piece of paper or a piece of tape and worrying about it tearing paper or what I just worked on. So I can just blend away. All right. So this will be a fun, and it would be fun too. Like, I know that our sports fans, like my son is a huge Celtics fan. So he has so much Celtics gear, right? And Maine just got a soccer team. We have a state soccer team or something. And I can't remember what they're called. The Pines, I don't know. And anyways, so he's really excited about that. So I could, make him something with their colors and get him something like that. But you can always get them like, something to go with it too, like the team colors. Granted, I know most of our team are men just like us. We have all the things for all the purposes. Like they have all the shirts, like they have the sweatshirt and the short sleeved and the long sleeved. So, oh, go to blending. I don't, oh, if I could only use, and I just got some blue over in there, I got distracted by the question. I started percolating on the question and lost all my marbles. If I could only ever use one brush again, I would have to say the mini. The mini. I do love all the options for all the reasons because there's always something different you're trying to do. I got some in that leaf. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not in a mood today that I want a mask. So I'm not. I'm not. You guys know you have those moods too where you're just like, yeah, no, I'd rather go with it and just leave it. I can put a gem there. So look, and this is also, so I got over in a few places. This is also a pretty patriotic card, which in the US we have, some patriotic times a coming. Okay, I'm trying to get that so I can get that little corner of the T there. All right. Okay. So see, look at that. Really, really pretty. I believe that, Liz. I believe that. Yes. My son liked music and video games and Legos. And yeah, if there was a hobby, my son, at some point dabbled in it, Except crafting. I couldn't get him to dabble in crafting. Ooh, it's hot in here. It's probably not hot. It's just me. I been having issues with my blood pressure, so I get really dizzy and I get really hot a lot too. I didn't think that was a thing, but I guess your blood pressure really does do a lot of stuff in your body. So I was pretty useless this weekend working at my house. I wasn't able to do a whole heck of a lot because I just felt really dizzy a lot of it. Okay. So then I'm going to line this back up. We're not done with stencil 2. We're staying on stencil 2. Now we're going to come in and see, I was rough on these parts too. You got to be easier. I'm like the bull in the china shop with everything. I'm like, woohoo, we're crafting. I'm excited. All right. And I got to peel this one back. I don't have to take the tape off, but I got to peel it back because it's hanging in where my leaves are going to go. And it doesn't want to go, of course. It's like, nah, I'm happy here. Okay, so then I'm just going to put this here because I want it to stay here, but I don't want it to be where it was. Yeah, and sometimes, I don't think of it's like red, white, and blue, because we're inundated from like kindergarten age with colors, red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, white, blue, So it's sometimes overwhelming and you're like, I don't want red, white, and blue. But, if like we were talking, if you could change one color up on it or just something, So I'll add the gray. I think I'm going to go with the evening gray. I'm worried it's going to be too brown, but we're going to give it a whirl. We're going to give it, as Macaulay Culkin says in that movie. I love that movie, Home Alone. I'll give it a whirl. I always think of that when I'm trying something new. And, I'm okay with it, even if it's a little, I think if it's the brownie gray, it's okay. Like we're making a dude card. So I probably, if I was going to do it again and I was trying to get closer to the Patriot colors, I would pull my beloved rock collection because that gray is more, I think, the gray tone that the Patriots have. But again, this card is going to nobody because I don't have anybody to send to for Father's Day. All right. Put it here and in here. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo boop boo-doo boo-doo ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo boop boo-doo boop boop ba-doo-bee. Boo-doo boop boop ba-doo-bee. Yes, Judy, those are great. Those are great. That's what I started my friend Julie with. I gave her my Literary Blooms, the PK kit, because it's, she could stencil and then die cut it, and she had words and sentiments and phrases and all of that. Okay. Okay. Ooh, look at that, people. Woo, woo. We also watched, my mom and I watched Central Intelligence this weekend. I love The Rock. Woo. Oh, what? He's so funny. My mom's obsessed with The Rock, so we watched The Rock. We also watched The Accountant too, which was a pretty good movie. I couldn't remember the first one. It'd been so long, but I don't think you need to see the first one to see the second one. I thought Ben Affleck did a very good job in it. Okay, so I think I'm lined up here. I'm looking through a bunch of camera equipment, so it's a little harder. You'll be able to line it up easier. I think we're lined up though, so we're going to go with it. So we're going to do Moon Rock for the stems. Thank you, Jelly. Oh, Jelly's so sweet. I love Jelly. I love when I get to work with Jelly. It's so fun to see Jelly. And all of you as well. But I always love my behind the badge folks. They're just amazing. They have all the answers. How cool of a job is that to have the answers? I don't have any answers. Well, that's what I like to say anyways. I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know. Remember the days? The days of the 90s? I don't know. We used to do that with my mom's dog because she looked like, she just looked like that. She looked like, what was it? Oh, my mom would always say to her, hey, go, hey. Like, it was, she kind of looked like it. She looked like it was something she would say. It was just funny. You look at your pets long enough and then you start, making stuff up. All right. Okay. All right. So got that. Yeah, I was really stoked because I hadn't watched the first one in so long, and I was like, oh, I hope I don't need to know what happened because I don't remember. Okay, and then we're going to come in for the little dots, and some might be darker because I have the Morning Frost on my blending tool, but I also didn't clean my stencil. That's another good step. Clean your stencil, folks. Clean your stencil. Okay, here we go. So some of my dots may be darker than others, but I'm going to show you how to fix it, of course. I don't know why. Well, I do know why I'm doing the dots. I was like, why am I doing the dots? I have another plan, but I do know why I'm doing the dots. Now I recall. I don't recall everything, but I recall why I'm doing the dots. Okay. Now, then we have, aren't they the bestest? They're just so fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in the is a to make. So I'm going to use the dark. I was going to use black, but you know what? That may be too harsh. Let's use lava rock because it's the darkest of the grays, but it's not black, right? It's dark, but it's not black. So hopefully this looks okay. I've never tried it before with color and putting like the darker, but I didn't know which color I wanted to put, the blue or the red, because the bottom is blue and the top is red. And I was like, panic. What do I pick for colors? Panic. Oh, magnificent magnolias. Love, love, love. We played with that last time I was with you guys. Oh, yeah. I made a good decision. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's spray the stencil and clean it. Get it all spiffy looking. So Tracy, I'll sneak in the magic peony. Hopefully nobody else is using it anytime soon. But I'll just stencil it. I won't do a full intro. So we'll make the dude card. Dude. And then we'll make a flower dude card. How does that sound? So I'll show you how to make a flower dude card. So my uncle's cat died. I usually gave him a Father's Day card from the cat. Okay. So now we can die cut this, or you can leave it as a panel, your choice, but we did plan to die cut it. Sorry, I'm having this finger really, really hurts. So I will pull out I don't know where my pokey tool went to. It's on my desk. My desk was clean. And now it's not. No, it's not. It was. No. I will clean it again at some point, but there's just been too many other things going on. Oh, sugar plums. Well, at least it's held on to that side. Okay, so let me grab my plates to run this through. Ooh, and trip over the broom. See, cleaning is bad for you. Oh, no, wrong way. Okay, there we go. All right, and that's pretty close, but I think it goes a little more here. All right, there we go. And then we'll pop that down, run that through. Watch out for the broom this time. I knew cleaning was dangerous for me. Oh, mine didn't run away. It's just playing hide and seek. Julie's here, everybody. Welcome, Julie. It's her first time. Yay! That's my friend Julie. Like my in-person friend, Julie. Because you're all my friends, but Julie's an in-person friend. I just saw her this morning in person. All right. I was bragging about your cards, Julie, and how amazing they were. Your first blending card and your first keyhole card and how amazing they were. All right. Here we go. Okay. So we have this. Now, I think what's fun is that, yes, Liz, yes, cleaning will kill you one way or another. Okay, so I have like my card panel. So what's fun, right, is you can add to this. You could bring in a stencil, an embossing folder, all kinds of good jazz, right? Or you can put it on there on its own. You could ink blend the background. You could paint the background. So many things you can do. Of course, I'm going to add dimension. Now, you could leave this, right? We did fill in. Let me pick it up so you can see. We did pick up the little dots on there, so we could, right? But look at this. We have all these beautiful gem sparkles, right? Now, I think black would look absolutely amazing. Of course, those ones didn't come out when I stuck my hand in the cave here. But those would look fantastic. We could also use just the clear ones. Now, you don't have to use a lot of them, but, you know, if you had a whoopsie, you could hide it. Now, I don't know. Let's see if the crystal clear will hide a whoopsie. Let's see here. I don't know. I've never tried to put a crystal clear over a whoopsie. Let's see. Yep, the crystal clear will hide the whoopsie. So I can put that over. I get a little blue into my leaf and it's not showing. So I could put that there. It does take away a little bit from my tea, but I can just wiggle it. And unfortunately, I just have the cap to my perfect picker. I don't know. It's on my desk somewhere. So I can just wiggle this down so it's over on the leaves, and you could kind of put it over. Well, I got to cover the whoopsie. And it's got a piece of cat hair now. But so, yeah. So the other thing you can do is that you could go around, and if you didn't like all of the dots, you can start strategically adding these clear dots sporadically all over the place. If you didn't like how some of yours came out, or maybe you had other places where, like right here, I got a little bit of that gray on my blue, so I'll put one there. So see, you can have lots of them. Put one in here so it's not alone. You just don't want to obscure anything that's going to take away. That dot wasn't really round. You don't want to take away from anything. Like I wouldn't want to put one over the O, right? Like anything that's going to be how you read this. And this one's a little fuzzy, so I'm just going to pop that kind of down here. So, it's just a matter of kind of finding places that you like that you can pop these and popping them down. You don't have to put one on every dot. You could put one in kind of every alcove. You notice how there's not every alcove has an opening, but a lot of these little, like right here, I should have put a dot and I didn't get a good blend on it. So just going to put a gem. And so all these like little spots like that, you could pop a gem in and have it ready to go. So, and then I'd probably put one up in that alcove. But so just another idea on how to bling it out, oh yeah. And the other thing is, right, they should like the cat. They live with the cat. Most of it, if you're giving it to your child's, your husband or your dad, they know your cat. So, they shouldn't be offended. So that's what I would do. I would add some foam tape behind it, pop that up. And again, I mean, this would probably look really nice. Let's just grab black. I think it would look nice. I don't know that I would use navy. I don't know if navy would be my first choice. Let's cut this down because sometimes it's overwhelming. But the other great thing that the reason I picked this set, and the reason I fell in love with this set is the price point is fantastic. And you get to do so many things with it, right? Like I don't want something that does one thing. I want it to do all the things. So see, this really pops, right? If you think about it, a lot of the NFL teams, NBA teams, NHL teams, they have black in there somewhere because this pops, right? So I think I know the queen of dimension, I could put this flat and I'm okay with it because that black is so dramatic. I'm getting my drama without the foam tape. Now, I'm going to get even more drama if I add the foam tape. So I probably will. But just try it on a couple of different pieces. Because when I thought black, I was like, I don't know. But I did have that little dark color in there. And then now the eye's going to think that's black. It's not, but it's going to think it is. So what I was talking about, the really great deal is that, if you have the stencil set, you get to stencil it onto a card, right? That's great. You get the die set, you get to cut it out. Then you also get to cut out the words. So it individually cuts out the letters and you can layer those together and then you can cut out a backer piece to put behind it as well. So I think the price point is phenomenal on this set. Really love this set. Okay. Let's say you have a man in your life, which I do, my fabulous Uncle Al, who loves flowers. I mean, loves flowers. Loves them. He goes to the nursery, he buys flowers, he posts pictures of his flowers. He loves flowers. So, that's hard. See, I don't go to black very often. Black is a challenge for me. That is such a challenge. And thank you, Geraldine, for checking in that Jelly and I have gotten all thumbs ups. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to put this because, so you can put all your stencils together because we're going to stencil without the image, meaning we're going to stencil without having the finished image. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to put this behind my stencil. See, I got my paper, but I'm setting it down and I'm centering it within the stencil. So see what I've done so far? I have my piece of paper on the back of the stencil and it's flush to the bottom, and the right, top, and side each have about the same distance. And I'm making sure that all of my stencils are going to fit. And they actually aren't. I can see one is going to peek up over the top by a hair. I'm okay with that. So now when I come to do this, because the piece of cardstock is a smidge smaller than my, well, it's more than a smidge. It's a bit smaller than my stencil. But what I'm going to do, okay, and it's okay that it's smaller, no biggie, no problem, no props, no props. So I just am going to maintain this border because I know that one of the petals will go off a little bit, but I can live with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tape this down into place. I know I'm going old school today, no sticky mat. The sticky mat is a game changer, so I do recommend using a sticky mat. But mine is buried under something with a project that hasn't come out yet on it. So I'm not going there. So I'm skipping out on that. All right. So we are also going to look at the layering guide here. And in here it shows that it's going to use obsidian, but that's just for the outline. Okay. Or over here. And then it used these 4 colors to create that flower. So what I'm going to do is, I know Uncle Al is just fabulous, isn't he? We just love Uncle Al. Uncle Al's so nice. He really is. He's such a nice human. He's so fun. He's driving my mom a little crazy though. He has hearing aids and he doesn't like to wear them. So everywhere they go, she'll say something to him and he'll go, huh? Huh? And so, yeah. He's driving her a little nuts, but that's all right. That's what siblings are supposed to do, right? Right. Okay. So I decided to get my little smalls out because these spots are a little bigger than, were on my today is a good day. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my smalls and I'm just putting in the color, and I am kind of paying attention so that it's darker where this would be a fold. Okay. And then I'm blending it out there, and that petal's darker because that would be dark. This should be the base of a petal right here. Okay. So we're going to blend that. And then that would be the petal, should be the base. And I am guessing, okay? I'm not looking, I'm just guessing as I blend. And this is something I like to do when I blend my flowers, is where do I think that the darkest part of that would be? And then I kind of blend it that way. And if I'm wrong, that's all right. I don't think anybody's going to give you a card back and say, hey, I liked your idea of where you blended, where you thought it was dark, but it's wrong. Do it again, Oh yeah, definitely need the sticky mat. Sticky mat is the secret to crafty happiness. Love it. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Now this will open up a new world for those of you that have never used a coordinating stencil on its own. Now we have the outlines here. You can see them. Okay, they're etched. So I'm just going to line those up and get those lined up the best I can and get this stencil into place. Okay. And so a little petals coming off down here too. That's okay. That's fine. All right. And then I'll get that put there. And then we're going to go with evening gray is the next color. Okay. And again, same thing. I'm going to try to put my color when I come in blending. I do start way off, but when I come in, I'm going to try to put where my color would be darker. Okay. And you can, of course, I can go in with this and I can really add in down here and add down here if you wanted to. Okay. So if you have a multitude of brushes out, I say, why not use them all? Okay. And then we'll come in and darker here, and then just kind of blend it out. Now you want it to have color there because you don't want your petal just to go off into nowhere. You want it to look like you actively put color there and there's supposed to be a petal there. But you also want to kind of have that focal of, okay, I see this is where the darkness would be. So this is where, like here, you know, there's a petal overlaying it. So it would be darker in there. Okay. Down here and over in here, it would be darker. Okay. And then over in here, over in here. And if you don't want to use the same color, you can step up to the next color to really add. I'll show you. So if we went up to Moon Rock. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. I'm sorry. This one, Tracy's the enabler, though, because I didn't plan to bring this one out today. So Tracy, it's Tracy. Tracy did it. If you've joined our Saturday groups, we always are encouraging folks. We're like, oh, did you see how pretty this is? Oh, I got a great deal on this. You need this. It's so wonderful. And so we'll be like, oh, but Tracy did it. She was the enabler today. It was Tracy told us about it. So, because we all enable at one point or another, we're all like, hey, did you see this awesome sale or this awesome this that Altenew has? And so, yeah, it just depends the week who's the enabler that week. So that changes it a little. So you can see, like, especially over in here where I added that extra color, it's really developing. Okay. And this is quick. We have 2 more stencils. So this is another one that's really great. So I hope that if you are a person that has not joined the Better Press family yet, and you're like, I don't know if I want to. I know some people talk about machines or they'll talk about cost of having another tool. And I get that. And that's okay. But with this, if there are coordinating stencils, don't worry about that. Now, what you can also do, this is the Moon Rock, okay? You can come in kind of light everywhere with the Moon Rock, okay? Or try to come in as light as possible. You saw I tried to go to a darker area that would be darker, okay? So I'm trying, that's going out. I'm trying not to go off the paper. I think I already did, though. Yeah, I did. So I'll have to either fussy cut this or trim the top off. So I'm just trying to get a really light color of this down, okay? Really light. I don't want super dark. Then you come in. Okay, got to keep the caps straight here. Then you come in with the Moon Rock and you can add in that detail where you want it. So you have more control, really, if you go lighter with that small brush and then come in with the detail brush, meaning the micro blending brush, and you're adding in that same color, but you're adding it really where you want to see it have the most bang for the buck, you know, because it's when you use the small, because the bristles are bigger, you don't have as much focal control over where you're going to put those colors. But if you go really light, how I just showed you, you can go in and add that detail, and then you can go in and add that color overall and then add the detail. Oh, yes, it was, yep. Put some purple, green. Oh, there you go. Absolutely. That would be beautiful. Look at that. I mean, look how pretty. It's so pretty. So I hope you'll look, if you don't have, you know, the Better Press or hot foil, but you've seen stencils and you've been like, oh, I wish I could do it on its own. You can, my friends, you can. So you can do this magic trick. Okay. Now for this one, we can do the same trick. Ooh, look, a white brush, a white brush, a white brush. Woohoo. Love it. Okay. So then you can come in, okay, and I'm starting off, right? because I'm getting off that excess ink because I don't want to come in hot, as they say, the pilots say. Okay, and I'm going to blend that out. And this is my darkest color. Just checking my time. Okay, I got 9 minutes. Just checking. All right, here we go. Okay, and you can keep tapping off over here and pull it in because you're getting that lighter color. Now, you may like that lighter color, so we'll lift it up in just a second and see if we like it. So it looks a little spotty to me at the moment, but if we lift this up, I need it a little darker. You guys know me. I need the darkness because the darkness shows the light, right? That's how I feel about adding the darker colors. Is it's really going to make those lighter tones that we worked really hard on in the beginning, it's going to make those pop. Okay, now you got to make sure you line it back up when you lay it down because you don't want to make new lines. And hopefully I didn't just do that, but that's why it's good to not lift it up until you're done, or just lift up a little corner, not lift up the whole thing. So I did really, I'm embracing the darkness. I'm running towards the darkness because I know it's going to create a beautiful, beautiful effect. And it's lighter down at this corner a little bit. I'll hold it up for you so you can see. Let's put the caps on and put this, and then let's put my brushes back. I just put them back in their little box. So this is how I store my smalls. Okay, and they have all their labels. Then I have on the top, I have their family name, and I keep them in alphabetical order in a drawer. Okay. All right. And are we ready for the reveal? Are we ready? 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 Ha! Look at that. Look how pretty. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yes, we can. Tracy, you can. Now, I will tell you that once in a while, you may have, and see, I didn't perfectly line it up here because I lifted and went back down, and I didn't perfectly line it up there. It's fine. Nobody's going to notice it. But I will tell you, sometimes there are stencils where maybe there's like a little doodling in the middle or something that you're missing, but you can doodle that in. So yes, I'm going to say, I'm going to go out on a ledge and make a statement, a blanket statement, which I don't make often. But yes, anytime you see a stencil with a set, just look at it and say, hey, could I layer this together? But always ask that question, because look at how soft. Now it's beautiful, right? You have the plate. It's absolutely stunning with the plate and the effects and the extra detail that the designer put into it. And it's great to see the designer's vision, because that's why you buy it, right? You see it and you're like, oh, hey, you see all the designers using it. And you're like, that's gorgeous. I love the way it's designed. So that's generally why you buy something. So of course you want to, recreate the designer's vision in your own way. But it's also fun to run in the opposite direction of the designer's vision, as in this case, and just create, something using the stencil only and create a beautiful card. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down to 4. Okay, and that way I trimmed it just so I left a little to take off that bottom there. And then we're going to take it down to 5 1/4. So I'm going to try to take off equal bits of the sides. And then you could put your sentiment right over. So where my petal's kind of out of alignment, I could layer something over that. You could heat emboss your sentiment over the center, but I would definitely pop this onto here. And I would put that in the middle. Now, you could use this for anything, right? So this can be used for a sympathy card, a birthday card, a Father's Day card, right? It just because it's gray doesn't mean that it's a bad it's bad. It's a sympathy card because it's gray. No, gray is a beautiful color. So you can add colors in other ways as and that's a good thing too, Liz. I'll come right back to that. You can also go and you can add color. Like I think it was Geraldine that was making Halloween peony out of this. You could add some splatters to this, right? And make it more colorful. So if you don't want to have a monochromatic card, you could do that. You could also add color with lots of the gem sparkles. Okay. You could keep it classic and you could add just the white. You could do so many things to add to this. But I think as it is, it's absolutely just a stunning, beautiful piece. So definitely pull out those coordinating stencils, my friend, and give them a whirl, because some of them, it may be harder. It may take you a hot second to look at it and see how it's lined up, but you can line it up, right? I love puzzles. So I don't mind not having something to help me line it up, like having the etchings. I would just fidget until it lined up for me and I would be super duper happy with that. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. And the other thing is you can go monochromatic with any color. So say your dad, your husband, your brother, your friend, their favorite color is teal or peach. You know, they're always wearing peach. My husband loved yellow, so I would make a yellow out of this and monochromatic. And it's absolutely stunning. It takes no time at all. It's really fast. And then you can coordinate and add things. You also could cut it differently. I just went off the page, so I had to trim it a certain way. But you could trim it and you could put it in the corner. So you have it kind of in the corner and you have the, you know, the border around. Let me see, because I have my mat is black, so it's hard to see. So you could have the border going this way instead. You know, you could put it in the opposite corner. You could put glitter paper around this side. We call that the Nancy, because Nancy came up with that one time when I was stuck for something to put on my card. And so lots of ideas that you can do with this. So, and like Liz said, you can add your own doodling to it. So if your line kind of goes like this, you can trace that line on the outside, making it look like this is just part of the petal that's a different color. So you can make it be anything you want it to be. We do have the fabulous, right now, the Essential Permanent Marker set. Now they do have a bigger tip on there. So it would have to be a bigger project that you were tracing. But we have fine liners in our old product inventory. I know some of you have those, so you could use those. Or the fine tip pens, you could use those for some doodling. You could doodle in color. Lots of different options with that. Yes, I love that black layer. I am not a black layer kind of gal, but we did 2 cards with black layers today, my friends. So I never use a black layer. And we had 2 beautiful cards with black layers today. I'm trying to, they usually post a photo, so I'm trying to get all the extra stuff out. And the black, like I said, the black is so dramatic that I don't even think I'm going to add foam tape to either of these. Like I keep going back and forth on it, but I'm loving them the way they are. Thank you so much for you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for having the fabulous suggestions. I love when you guys have suggestions. So Tracy, thank you for bringing that up. And if I can fit the set in on that day, I always love to. I always love to have a play, and I'm the kind of crafter, throw something at me and say, make something. And I'm like, okay. So that makes me happy. So thank you, Tracy, for that suggestion. And I'm glad to be able to show you that set and have a few of you fall in love with that set as well. I hope all of you have a fabulous rest of your week. I will see you really soon. This behind me will be changing more and more as time goes on. So you'll have to see what's missing each week I join you. Thank you so much to Jelly for being the eye in the sky and being the bestest moderator. We appreciate all of that, Jelly, for us out here being able to find all the wonderful things and the tough questions she asked today about blending brushes. That was a toughie. That was a toughie. And thank you to all of you for joining us for the chat and making the session go by so fast. It's always good to see so many friends in the chat box on a crafty day. I look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon. Until then, my friends, from all of us at Altenew, thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life. We'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.